Hello, this is a demo for our project CaliWeather. CaliWeather is a mobile weather application that provides a tailored meteorological experience for its users, integrates climate change awareness, and is equipped with insightful analytical tools. To begin, Doug will first explain the capabilities of the login page.
All right, so I'm going to start us off by explaining the login and the profile page. First off, if we were to log in, we have a testing account that we can show, entering the username. However, entering a wrong password will give us an exception handling. We do have toast messages to let the user know what's going on if they have either blank fields or incorrect fields. Before actually logging in, I wanted to show the register. So if we were to register a new user, Jordan, would you mind just typing in values to actually show that this is working? So we are going to log into the testing page, but we do have capability for users to create their own profiles. So logging in with the correct user information. Once we sign in, we'll be brought to the profile page. On the profile page, we can check out profile information. On the profile information, users will have access to all their personal data. Editing their profile data is on the bottom left. From here, users are free to change all of their information, canceling from here. Users also have access to reset their password on the bottom right. Resetting your password here is the same process as resetting your password on the login page. However, on the login page, users are required to enter their username. So canceling from here and going back. We do have access to get to the settings page from the profile page. That is the preferences button at the top. Then moving back to the profile page, users can also sign out and protect their information. From here, Jordan's going to talk about the radar page. That is it for the login and profile page.
All right, so the radar page will first prompt the user if they want to enable location services, which changes the user's set location within the app. For now, we are going to deny this permission. So I'm going to click deny. As you can see, a map of the West Coast is displayed with California in the center. The purple place marker in the middle is the user set location. If the permissions were enabled earlier, the icon would have shifted to the device's location of the user. The user interface of the radar page also includes a variety of useful features. So the red and green buttons on the bottom right-hand corner are for zoom controls, where you can zoom in and out of the map. So I'll go ahead and show it for you real quick. So zooming out, zooming in. The user also has the ability to pan the map across by dragging their finger across the screen. So just like this. And the light purple button above the zoom controls centers back on the user's location. The slider bar above the zoom controls and the center controls is for viewing past radar imaging data up to 2 hours of history. It contains a feature where the radar data simulates video playback. So I'm going to go ahead and show it for you real quick, but I'm going to have to zoom out. So I'll just shift over here since there's not a lot going over here in California. Press play. The first time through is a little bit slow because it has to cache all the file images. But on the second time through, it attempts to simulate video playback. The user can also manually scroll through the tile images of the radar data by clicking on the slider and moving it up or down. And lastly, the yellow button in the left-hand corner is for overlays. So in addition to the radar overlay that was just shown, the app also includes cloud coverage, temperature gradients, and wind speeds. Next, Elijah will be covering the homepage.
All right, so looking at the home page, the first thing that's noticeable is the temperature. So it'll show the current temperature for your location. It'll also show the conditions and the date. And the location that's there is based on the location that's put in the settings. In the bottom, you also have an 8-day forecast that shows what the weather's going to be like, the different conditions and what the temperature is going to be like. And then looking at the top right corner, if you click on that button, you have alerts, the active alerts that are set for the user. So right now it shows a heat advisory, but you also have different alerts like conserving water, if there's a drought, and then you also have API related alerts. And you can turn these off and on in the settings page. And if you scroll to the right, you can also see more information for the weather. So things like humidity, cloudiness, what the weather feels like, dew point, sunrise, sunset, the UV index, the pressure, and the wind speed. And all of this is being pulled from the Open Weather API. And so for the home page, that's about it. So the next page is the analysis page.
So the analysis page allows for the users to have a deeper dive into meteorological data. It includes data for rainfall, snowfall, temperature, humidity, pressure, and wind speeds as well. This page shows modular line graphs that consist of data points connected to the user's location. As described previously, the application is set to the state of California. So all of the data present in the analysis page, and as well as the graphs, etc., is oriented to the state of California. So the data shown on the analysis page will all depend on where the user has his or her location set. For example, if you take a look at our application, we can explore the different data for each analytical tool. Each graph can be either enabled or disabled using the buttons at the top of the page. So the user can choose to select or deselect whichever graph they wish to see displayed on the screen. So there's also a button at the bottom right-hand corner for refreshing the user interface when needed. We can also show that working. So each graph consists of a data span of 14 days or 2 weeks. For example, if we take a look at the data for temperature, we can see the data for the temperature in degrees Fahrenheit within the span of 14 days. And if we hover over the points, we're able to see the average temperature per day. That is all for the analysis page. I will let Gisela speak a little bit more about the settings page.
Okay, so this is the settings page of CaliWeather. As you can see, the user has many options they can change. Since CaliWeather is oriented to the state of California, only 2 main languages are listed, which are English and Spanish. So if say you were to switch it to Spanish, while it doesn't change the whole app, when you go to the home page and refresh it, it gives you a brief description of what the weather is going to be like. Besides the language, there's also font sizes. So as you can see, there are 3 options: small, normal, and large. This gives our senior users or those with impaired vision the chance to use CaliWeather without any problems. The users can also pick their weather units. So there's Fahrenheit, Celsius, and Kelvin. Besides that, the user can change their location. So say if they were to type in Fresno, and they go back to the home page and refresh it, the temperature for the city of Fresno would be there. Also, the user can pick which notifications they want to receive. So there's API alerts, energy alerts, and water alerts. The API are anything weather related. It could be like either fire or tornadoes. their sales of the energy if they need to lower down their energy consumption, and water if there are any droughts going on. And lastly, the user can display their a dark theme. This feature wasn't totally implemented, but there's an option. And this is it for the settings page.